Hey guys, welcome back to Kevin's Kitchen Corner. Today what we're going to do is we're going to make some salmon, and we're going to do it a couple of different ways. We're going to do like a poached dill salmon, and then we're going to do a blackened salmon. The reason I wanted to show these to you was because we have two different kinds, but this is a really good, that's a good word. This is a really good recipe that you can do any night of the week, and it's only going to take about 30 minutes for both of these. So we're going to get everything prepped, and then the poached salmon we're going to cook in the oven, and the blackened salmon we're going to cook in a cast iron skillet. So we'll get the poached salmon with dill. We're going to get that ready, and we're just going to have a small baking dish. Oven is preheated on 350. You can use butter or margarine. It doesn't make any difference. Just do a little dab of margarine. You can do it right there. And another one we're going to do right here. And another one we'll put right here. And like I said, you can use butter or margarine. Whatever you have, whatever you like. And we have a paper towel. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of salt. Well, what I did here is on the salmon, I did trim off a little bit of the belly part of the meat so I could get all of them about the same thickness. It just make them cook a little bit more evenly. So we'll just put some salt on both sides of these. You don't worry about, you can do this a little generously because you are going to be cooking it with milk. So that's going to make it so it's not quite so saturated or concentrated. Okay, and then the dill, you can be pretty generous with the dill. Okay, and press that down in just a little bit, flip it over. Salt. And one of the peppers cracked or salt, pepper, dill. Very simple. Generous amount of dill. Get that a little pat. Okay, and then we're just going to take that. We're going to set it on our little bit piece of margarine there. Set that one there. Now you can use pretty much any type of milk you want. This is just 2% milk. And what we're going to do is we're going to put enough milk in there to get about halfway up the salmon. I'm going to do this without spilling it. Okay. So we're going to do that one. And then in a couple minutes, we're going to throw that in a preheated 350-degree oven about 10 minutes. And then we're going to flip it for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. We're all set. Okay, let's do the blackened salmon. This is one of our favorites. There's numerous different things you can do with the blackened salmon. I'm going to show you the way that we do it, and I'm going to give you some options that you can change the ingredients to whatever you're liking. I don't think I want dill on that. So we're going to start with salt and pepper. Be generous with these seasonings. Now, on a meal like this, there's numerous different things you can do, like side dishes. And if you're doing like an evening meal, you want to do something, it takes a half hour, 45 minutes. If you have any mashed potatoes, you could mix a little bit of cheese in it. And then after they're done, you could put them in like a cupcake pan, fill each one that's got cheese in it, and then just bake them for about 15 minutes. And it'd be kind of like a twice baked potato. You could cut some potatoes in wedges, put a little bit of margarine or butter on them, put some parsley on them, salt and pepper, put them in the oven while the poached salmon is cooking. So you'd have some parsley potatoes. Numerous things you can do. But I would say if you want a quick meal, make this the star of your dish. And then, you can do a rice pilaf. You can do the mashed potatoes, whatever's easiest for you, whatever you decide. But yeah, I think that's the way we usually go, because we like this to be the star of the dish. You got lots of salt here. Salt, pepper, onion powder. Always hold it up high. You hold it down low, you're going to get a concentrated area like this. You can hold it up high like that. And you can just look at it and see if you're getting how it's getting coated. But you can be generous with these. This is supposed to have a lot of flavor to it. Now this is paprika, just regular sweet paprika. And finally we have garlic powder. See, that comes out fairly quickly, but okay, I want to give you a little tip about spices. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like especially onion powder seems to clump up a lot after it's been in your cabinet. So what I like to do is when I open it, you notice I only open up part of the card or the paper there, and then you put it back on, then the moisture doesn't get in it. The other thing I want to tell you is that as far as spice is concerned, like paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, try the store brand, the Great Value, something like that, the store brand, because I worked in a place years and years ago that we made food and we sold it under a name brand, but we also sold it under a store brand name, and all we did was switch the packaging. Exact same ingredients, exact same way that we made it. All we did was switch packaging. And rumor has it, and I'm not going to mention which different spice companies, but rumor has it they do the exact same thing. They put it under their name brand, they switch the label, the store brand, exact same thing. So don't hesitate to get the store brand. So let's flip these over. Here's our salt. Salt, pepper. This is one of our favorite dishes to go to on a night when say to ourselves, well, what do we want tonight? Well, let's have some salmon. And it's only, even prep and everything, it only takes about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. So we got garlic. Make sure you check which one you're doing. Yeah, onion powder. And our paprika. Come on, you can come out. I know there's lots of it in there. Okay, just give that a little bit of a, like this. And the other thing you can do is you can kind of flip that up and get it on the sides there from the cutting board. You get all sides of it. Lots of flavor there. Okay, the only other thing I want to tell you as far as the spices, this is a spice combination that we found that we really like. The other options I would say is you could add like some chili powder. You could add smoked paprika just to give it a little bit of flavor. And if you like a little bit of spicy, you could also do cayenne pepper. So we're going to get this going in a 350-degree oven, and then in just a few minutes, we'll put this into a really high heat cast iron skillet. Okay, now we're ready to start cooking. We have our oven preheated to 350. We're going to put our dill to be poached in the oven, and we're going to set the timer for about 10 minutes. I'll check it over there, 24. And then on the Blackened, I've got my cast iron skillet on about 9. It's going to be really hot. I put a really light coating of oil. It's kind of a high smoke, but it's got to be a neutral flavor. And set those nice in there, nice and easy. Kind of pat them down just a bit so that they evenly touch the bottom of the pan. Okay, and then as these cook, you'll be able to see there's like a white part that will come up through the salmon that'll tell how high it's cooking. When that gets about halfway, that's when you want to flip that. So that should be in about 10 minutes. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes, and what happened was I was looking at my salmon and I was saying, okay, we need to check that, and you can see where it's cooked part way, but I want to check the bottom and make sure it's not getting too dark. We're just going to flip that over. That's perfect. That's the blackened that we're looking for, and you can see the white part where it's cooked down in there. So we're going to flip these. That's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, what you'll find on this is when you actually plate this, you're going to want to put some salt on the salmon itself when you have it on your plate. We're going to check the poached salmon in about 5 minutes. So yeah, it's been 10 minutes, and we're going to check our poached salmon. You can see that margin really melted nice. That means it should be about halfway done. So we're just going to put that there. And use yourself like something like this. You may even need your finger in here just to kind of hold it so it doesn't break apart. Oh, that's coming out nice. That's coming out nice. About another 10 minutes. That should be perfect. And at that time, we should have our blackened salmon and our poached salmon, and total of about 25 minutes. Okay, So it's been about 14 or 15 minutes, and that's all it took for the blackened salmon. We're going to take a piece out. We're going to test it. And both sides look pretty good. We'll just check it here with a little flake off with a fork. No, that's bright enough. There we go. Well, that looks really nice. The other's nice and pink, but it's nice and flaky. It's not dry. Test that. All right. It's got really, really good flavor from the seasonings, but it's very, very moist. And you still get that really good flavor from the salmon. So you got that whole combination of the spices, the salmon, and then being really, really moist. That's an outstanding dish, and it took all 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes to cook. It wanted to take about 10 minutes to prep. So in 30 minutes, you got blackened salmon. We're going to take the poached salmon out of the oven, and we're going to give that a try. We should be all ready to go. Okay, so it looks like the poached salmon's done. The blackened salmon's done. We just want to give the poached salmon a quick try here. Just make sure it's, there we go. That looks good. It's going to be nice and flaky in the middle. Nice and pink. Make sure that it just kind of flakes off. Just like that. Good little taste. That's perfect. So about 20 minutes. And then one thing you can do is, you still want a little bit of salt and pepper on your plate, but you can add just a little bit of lemon juice also. That's really good. So today what we did was 30-minute meal, blackened salmon, dill poached salmon, and like I say, just pick a side that you really like that you can make in about 30 minutes, and you have a great meal that you can make any evening, 30 minutes, and it is fantastic. So once again, thanks for stopping in at Kevin's Kitchen Corner, where we don't just cook, we create.